Welcome in and hello everyone. So today we're doing a reading on what May looks like. So we have 3 different groups here. I did something different. We used different tarot decks for each group. So for this reading, feel free, you can pick group 1, group 2, group 3. You can do it based on numbers, based on the deck. First one we have is our Paulina tarot deck. It's actually the first tarot deck I ever bought. We have the Crystal Visions deck. And then for group 3, we have the Ethereal Visions deck. So go ahead, we can take a deep breath together. Give you some more time to see which one you're drawn to. So go ahead. Timestamps are going to be below. Again, with these readings, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If a group's not resonating with you, come back to the beginning here. Take another deep breath, pick a new one. There were some similarities between the groups, so feel free, if you're drawn to 2, listen to definitely more of them. There may be messages in multiple readings for you. So if you chose group 1 or the Paulina Tarot, then this reading is yours. Let's see what your tarot cards have to say for May. So you have the 2 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, 7 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. Awesome. All right. Okay. So I feel like in May, there's going to be, you're going to potentially be creating or doing something unique, potentially something totally different, or trying things a different way. I think it's a really creative month too. I love that the peacock's here, and it's almost like walking in clouds, kind of having that uniqueness, that originality. I do think that there's going to be, I think it's going to be busy. And I think with this, it's going to be almost like a lot of, say, like small decisions or fine tuning, putting finishing touches on things. And I do think that it's going to be a month where you're working on something, working towards something, and it's just on the edge of everything coming together. So I think May is going to be a month where you're really fine tuning, or we'll just say putting final touches on things, kind of making decisions to guide yourself in the right direction down the path that you're working towards. I definitely see you putting in the work, and kind of almost too with this 9 of Wands, I think staying ahead of that burnout, right? I think almost keeping yourself busy to occupy yourself so that you're not feeling the effects of either the busyness or meaning like some self-doubt for someone too. Maybe you're thinking, you're kind of double guessing yourself. But I definitely think that whatever this is, it's going to lead towards happiness or like a passion of yours. I think potentially too, it could be something maybe you don't even know that this is what you're wanting, but along the way, you're kind of slowly discovering that, yes, okay, this is the right path. This is the right choice. And I like too with this nine of Wands, of almost like this person's just like jumping up to just stay ahead of everything, just stay on top of it. They're really vigilant. And I think too that whatever you're working on in May is just going to keep bringing forward new ideas, like sparking new, I'll say, creativity and happiness for you. I'm almost getting this, like, even if, let's just say, you're cleaning out your house and that was your big, like, oh, in May, all I want to do right now is just organize the whole house, go through a good spring cleaning, and almost having that to where, okay, like you're tackling one room at a time, and then you get to, let's say, a closet, you find a box in there, and inside the box is an old like art project or something that guides you where you're like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that this is what I did in 2020 or way back in the day, going through things maybe like together with a partner or with family. And kind of just almost like a cycle, right? Of like working on something and coming up with new ideas as you're going along that just help increase like the productivity or effectiveness or happiness, whatever it may be, even if it's like at work or home, kind of just growing and discovering new things along the way. I do think for some that whatever this is, you could almost be waiting for something to go wrong. Could be something that you're used to. So I think potentially it could be learning to trust. Trust a little more in May, in others, in yourself, because I do think that while whatever you're working towards or working on in May is going to lead to, it's not just going to be like a financial or career, like a materialistic type of growth. I think that you're also going to be doing a lot of growth within yourself, with others, and then even too, like with your intuition. You have this Ace of Cups card, and I love it because I feel like a lot of Ace of Cup cards, they have the cup just overflowing, right? This one's literally shooting upwards. So I feel like it is going to be a really great month for you to try new things, to listen to your gut, trust in yourself, trust your intuition. Yeah, and I don't think that you're going to be going through this completely alone. I think whatever this is, whether it's with a family member, a friend, coworker, someone you meet along the way, or even just I love anytime these 10 of Cups include animals in there. So it could just be even with your fur babies. If you have those, and we'll get some love messages too. But yeah, I think that this month is going to be a really nice one of kind of growing and creating along the way, is what I'm getting for May overall. But definitely see kind of a lot of decisions having to be made and almost that like waiting on the edge of like, okay, I can almost, it's like almost here. Everything that I'm working towards is coming along. So I think that just make sure that you're trusting yourself, listening to your gut, to your intuition in May. And if there's something that you're looking to try, you definitely have the Ace of Cups here. I love this with just how the imagery of like, you have the ideas coming forward. They are shooting out of you this month. They are there. They are ready. Even if it seems a little maybe different from the normal. But yeah, let's get some oracle cards. I'll either shuffle those on screen or off to save for time. Let's see. All right, so I decided to shuffle off screen to save for time. Let me know if you like the shuffling on the camera or if you don't mind it and you just kind of want to get to the cards. Let me go ahead and move these up here. Okay, so starting off, I have my brand new deck that I just got, the Solitary Witch by Lucy Cavendish. I'll double check that. I'll put it in the notes. Absolutely love this deck though. Just got it a few days ago. And so you have the Charging of Her Wand. Put that here. And so with this card does talk about like specifically charging any magical tools that you use. So if you do any form of like divination or if you use crystals, you have wands, whatever it may be, I think May is a good time to make sure everything is recharged. But I also think it's a good time to make sure that you're charged and to have something there to refuel you when you get low on energy. So whether that is, could be charging items throughout your day to keep, your energies up, keep you guarded and protected. Or it could be too just talking about like making sure you have other people in your life that are there, that when things get a little busy, when things get a little hectic, you have someone there to help you like decompress, to kind of get that stress out of there, because it is, I think, it could be, a potentially busy month, staying ahead of, just on the edge of like losing it. And so I think having someone there or something, whether it's like your favorite cup of tea at a certain time or doing an activity, talking to someone, whatever it may be, I think just making sure that in May you make it a priority so that your cup doesn't run empty, right? Like we see this, it's overflowing, you have a ton, but make sure it doesn't run out. So make sure that you're always charging yourself up, your energy, whether that's again with your tools or with others, whatever it may be that helps you kind of stay focused and driven down this path. And then for your next oracle card, where I did the Moonology deck, we have Step Out of Your Comfort Zone. Okay, the North Node. I like that with the Nine of Wands too, actually. Of almost looking like, I don't know, see if you can zoom in on their face. They look a little frightened, like a little like, what did I get myself into? So I think in May, it could be that whatever you're doing is uncomfortable. It's new, right? Anything that you do new is typically, even if it's not anything crazy, a little uncomfortable, right? A little new, a little like, oh gosh, okay, what do I do again? How do I do this? Or what if people catch on that this is my first time doing this or I'm new to this? But this card talks about knowing that you're heading in the right direction. Things might be a little scary, but that's okay. This card also can talk about too not obsessing over someone or something. And so for some of you, it might be that maybe there is something, I'm almost getting to that like imposter syndrome is coming to my head. So for some of you, it could be that you're trying something new or maybe taking the next step up somewhere. And again, you have that imposter syndrome. I feel like everyone does. So knowing that you're heading in the right direction, it's okay. If things are a little scary or uncomfortable, because now's the time to take action. So yeah, definitely if you've been wanting to do something new, I think May's a great time to just take that leap and step out of your comfort zone. And then our next oracle cards. Oh gosh, this deck, I absolutely love it. It is, why is it slipping my brain? Threads of Fate. And so you have Reclaim. I love that. Look at this deck. Beautiful. And the Revolutionary. Ooh, okay, yeah. So definitely, I mean, Revolutionary, let me move. There we go. Talks about someone who's a trailblazer. And so with that too, it could be a little bit of that Nine of Wands energy coming up of there are going to be people who follow you, support you, right? Who are there for you. But then there's also going to, with these potentially like new ideas that are maybe a little out of the box, some naysayers, right? And so this card talks about don't let their words, like let their words fuel you. Kind of, you know, push the envelope, and any of that criticism or negativity that you might be feeling, don't let it get to you, right? Like be vigilant, stay on top of it. And then with Reclaim, I think honestly, it's a really nice just reminder to listen to your intuition in May, trust yourself, make sure you have everything charged up that you need, and go kind of reclaim that power. If you're feeling like you might be a little lost or wanting to go out and do something, I mean, May is really a great time with your cards to go take charge, right? And then your Green Witch Oracle that you had, passion. Yeah, so whatever this is, I think it's going to be something that you're very passionate about. Could also talk about a relationship, kind of goes towards another level. I'm excited to see what your love cards say. And I do want to love that this deck has, where is it? Little spells that they have. So if anyone is interested in May in trying a spell for passion, let's see, it says boost passion in a relationship or rekindle motivation for a project in Bee Ink. So on a piece of paper, write your name and that of your lover or project using the dried twig of a red flowering plant dipped in 1/4 cup of beetroot juice. Wrap the twig in the paper and throw it in the fire, saying, alive with the fire, the passion within us grows higher. So always fun if that's something that you're interested in trying out. But I definitely love that with the rest of your cards and with knowing that whatever you're trying out, you're in the right direction. It's bringing happiness. It is going to lead, it's going to spark that passion, right? And let's see what your love messages say. Okay. I'll show you the imagery in the back. You had two that popped out. I love this too with your 10 of Cups, that imagery there. And so it says, look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. And when it comes to matters of the heart, there is no right or wrong. Every choice you make expands your understanding of life and love. And I really like that too, of knowing that like as you go through it and as you're making a lot of decisions this month, that everything you're doing is going to just like further expand yourself, bring about more awareness, kind of open your mind a little bit more. So again, trust yourself. And then for your whispers of love, the matter of the heart. There is more going on than meets the eye. I do want to read from this one just because you have some messages here. Just put you in the middle for now. On love. Let's see. I always feel like I have really nice messages that could be out there for someone. So it says, take a moment to get the genuine issues in this situation. The truth of what is going on lies at the very heart of the situation. Be honest and willing to do whatever is necessary to take care of this. Whether you see your current scenario as positive or negative, it is happening for a reason. Kind of like that too, of like, there's no right or wrong. You're understanding it's happening there for a reason. Trust yourself. It says awareness and understanding will help you see beyond your current circumstances. It may feel difficult at first, but with time, you may feel differently and understand why things unfolded as they did. Even if you are in an emotional upheaval, there is an outcome that will bring love and blessings. Really exciting. And then we just have one last card. This is just my fun little whispers of the garden. Strength. Oh, I love that. Don't let weeds and thistles cultivate in your garden. So I think that's actually a really nice message for this month too, is as you go and continue to do new things, to try new things, to lead the way, don't let the naysayers or any even like negative thoughts within yourself take over. Know that it's happening for a reason. Know that what you're moving towards is almost there where you can see the results. You'll physically have the results there, or, emotionally, you'll have everything. It's just on the edge. So know that the direction that you're going in May is leading you towards something that is going to bring about that passion, right? That happiness within yourself, with those around you. Keep yourself charged throughout the month. And just listen to your gut. I'm getting a lot of like, listen to your intuition and just keep telling yourself, I'm going in the right direction. But overall, I think May looks really nice. So we'll go ahead and get some charms really fast. We'll pull just a couple to see if they add anything else into the month. All right, so let's go ahead and get some charms for group 1 for their month of May. May 2023. All right, let's go ahead, flip this over. All right, let's make sure I can always zoom in. Okay, I'll actually flip this first one over. Okay, so you have, I like to call this my like Tinkerbell, the wishing on a star. So either potentially like a wish is getting fulfilled in May, you're making a wish, having a wish come true, right? You also have the grape, so abundance. I think May is going to bring about, oh my goodness, okay, we might just leave these here. May is going to bring a really abundant month. You also have the rabbit. I think link that to fertility. I think quick movement as well. Things might be happening pretty fast. Again, another, I feel like, abundance. You have the arrow as well. So to me, that's just movement. So pretty quick, I think once things start going in May, they're just going to keep going, right? Then you have the mustache. And so this to me speaks a little to being in disguise, kind of putting on a fake exterior for others, maybe talking to a little bit about that imposter syndrome and almost feeling like you don't belong. And you have the blue rose, which symbolizes self-love. So I think this month again is going to be really nice to get into that intuition, into yourself. Make sure that you are giving yourself love, time to rest when you need it, time to recharge. You have the two dolphins here. I think just make sure that you're staying playful. I think this also talks a lot about finding balance, possibly companionship too. You have the triple moon. So it could be that you're entering a new phase. For some of you, potentially, like, maybe you are taking that step. I just hit a new decade in my life recently, so it could be a transition for you, or maybe just a progression in a stage of your life. Because you do have the bat as well. So I think for some of you, it could be needing to let go of something old and bring something new in May. So this could be a good time to do that. You also have Cancer here. So it could be maybe you're a Cancer or someone of importance is May is a Cancer, or the energy of the month is just going to be dominated by Cancer. You also have my snowman charm. So this to me just represents building things one step at a time. If you think of building a snowman, typically you start at the base, then you do the middle body, then the head, and then you add the decorations. So I think just kind of making sure in May, like it's going to be a month where you are again making a lot of decisions, but kind of just moving forward one step at a time. And then lastly, you have my Christmas cookie. Simply just represent like going back to something that brings you happiness, maybe something like nostalgic, something you did as a child or even in the past that brought you happiness. Maybe you're finding that or using that as a way to kind of recharge. Let's zoom in here on all of your charms for the month. Yeah, let me know if you caught any additional meanings or if something else jumps out to you. Again, these are general readings, so someone might be picking up on a different message from these charms. Let me know if you have any of those. Really cool though. I hope you have a wonderful May. And until next time. All right, so if you picked Group 2 or the Crystal Visions Tarot deck, then this is your reading for May. Let's see what your tarot cards have to say. So first up, you have the Knight of Cups. You have the Page of Wands, the World, the High Priestess, and Two of Cups. Okay. So yeah, I definitely think this is going to be a big month for your heart. I don't think just romantically either, even though with like the Two of Cups, that definitely could be for some of you. I think it's going to be a big month for growth within like yourself, emotionally, spiritually. I think too, coming to an understanding of a situation. Could be potentially you get like a romantic invite in May. And I love too with your Page of Wands this imagery here of the dragon in the background just asleep. Again, kind of like this nice, just like really passive energy. But there's so much power there, right? So definitely a nice like energy of, you have that creativity. Could be a nice time of like reflection, and definitely potentially something coming to an end. So some reflecting on maybe a situation that happened or like an evaluation of sorts. Yeah, I think for some of you, it's just going to be like getting just like finding an understanding, finding a connection, finding a like a reflection on a situation. And then, yeah, again, for some of you, you could have this connection, right, with someone in May. I think it's a really nice month for sharing your feelings, sharing your thoughts, healing your heart in May. And yeah, I love the imagery of like all the butterflies that you have, the lotus flowers. So potentially too like a transformation happen, right? Like something's ending. You're having some time to like reflect, to understand a situation or feelings or whatever it may be, to then transform and kind of have this like rebirth in May. And definitely I'm getting for some of you, it's healing of like a month to heal your heart, a month to heal your mind. So potentially maybe something in the past has happened that's kind of, it's over now. And I think May's a really nice time to just listen to yourself, listen to your heart, take some time. It's okay. I also like to in May, it could be that you're forming some new connections, but I'm getting this like slow feeling, like you're not rushing into anything. Even if you do have like romantic invites, or even if it's not romantic, but you have maybe like people reaching out to hang out or to get to know you. I think it's a nice month for you to make those connections, to kind of start that bond, to have those new relationships, but I don't see you rushing into anything. Yeah, definitely. I love this. A good month for reflections. And yeah, if there's any desire for you to like dig deeper into like your spirituality, I think this is the great month to do that. If there's anything that you're looking like a creative project that you've been wanting to start, or even if it's just like laying the groundwork or having like the steps, you start writing them out or thinking of the ideas and the plans and kind of like taking those first steps. But I definitely think listen to your intuition this month as well. Oh, man, I'm getting really just like a nice, keep saying like this like calming energy in May for you. So while I do think that you will be having some, relationships, connections, some things happening, I think it's going to be a really nice time for you to make sure that you are setting aside, that whether it's 10 minutes in the morning to journal or meditate, or at the end of the day, or have a cup of tea or coffee, at 11 a.m. if you need that little pick me up. If just kind of making sure that you're still having time for yourself to just take a moment, breathe, reflect on things that need it, kind of reassess, figure out where it is you want to go from here. Yeah, let's get some oracle cards though, because I'm really curious what else they have to say. This month just seems like a really, really pleasant time for you and for yourself. So yeah, let's pull some oracle cards. I did the last one off for group one. I pulled them ahead of time and just set them aside, and then we flipped them over together. Let me know if you like the shuffling on screen, or if you prefer them to, save down on time and just, pre-pull. All right, so I went ahead and pulled some oracle cards. I have a bunch of them here for you. So we'll start off. Actually, just got this deck recently and I'm in love with it. It's the Solitary Witch. And so for you, you have the Crone in Winter. Also, like the artwork to me and the imagery is just beautiful. Lucy Cavendish, you did it again. But yeah, this card specifically talks about kind of listening to that wisdom, right? I feel like it's that grandmother advice that comes with experience, comes with age. And I really like that too in the winter sense. So again, kind of that winter, like the calmness, everything's like dying down, that, time of death, right? Like the ending of something, and a really nice like time to reflect. I think that goes really nicely with your cards too. And I think this card also can talk about if things get a little hectic, or maybe potentially something in the past few months have been a little hectic, like just take a breath, take a pause, listen, and when it's time to act, you'll know it. But until then, you don't need to rush forward. You don't need to keep pushing forward if now's not the best time to do so. Really love it. I just love all this. I might just do like a random video of flipping through these cards because I think they're so beautiful. Not all of them, don't want to ruin the surprise for anyone who's out there wanting to buy it, but we can go through them together, I think, in a video because I think they're just that beautiful. Anyways, moving on. For your Threads of Fate Oracle, another deck I absolutely love, you have Ascension. Again, how beautiful. I love this. I think it's just encouraging you to like deepen your spiritual practices in May. And again, whether that is actual spirituality or maybe it's just reflecting on yourself or your, the day-to-day journaling, meditating, taking some time for yourself. But this card can also talk about like making sure you reach for your full potential. And this card can also talk about like knowing that your efforts are being seen and being noticed. It might not be apparent right now, but know that others, whether they are here or, if you believe in your spirits, they are noticing your efforts, your work. But I think just make sure that you are still, while it may be a little bit more of like passive energy this month, that you're still working on yourself and trying to become like the best version, right? For your Moonology, we do have, you're very close to achieving your goal. Love that. This card can talk about having adjustments, and there might need to be some things that you're needing to like tweak along the way. So this could be a nice month if you have like a big project or something that you've been already working on. Kind of take some time, reflect on that. Make sure, is there anything else that I need to do that I haven't thought of, or something that's come up and okay, yeah, now we need to reassess this. So you just kind of tweak it. But this does talk about, knowing you're on the right track, stay focused. It's going to also talk about getting back into healthier habits too. And then also starting new projects and really keeping that momentum going towards your dreams. I like that with your ascension of like, keep reaching, right? I'm getting like reaching for your dreams. So while potentially for some of you there could have been maybe like a setback or something that's happened that has kind of come to an end, this talks about keep your momentum moving forward, right? Like keep reaching for, I'm just getting like your better self, for the next step. The next best thing is out there. So keep your momentum moving forward. Don't let it stall. My cat jumping in a box. Don't let it stall. And then for your Greenwich Oracle, you have happiness. Love it. And I do want to read the spell that comes on here because I think these are always fun for anyone who's interested. But I think that this month overall, it's just leading you towards more happiness. I think whatever this work that you're putting in towards yourself is just kind of like further propel you forward into achieving that happiness that everyone's after, right? It does talk about like new success, relationships are beginning. Love that. Okay, so for your happiness spell, it says, this little mojo bag will prevent anything from disrupting your happiness. Draw a picture on a piece of paper that depicts the happiness you want to protect and fold the paper 3 times. Place the paper in a small black bag with a tiny black tourmaline and sprinkle with 1 teaspoon of dried, so I'm going to butcher this, marjoram. Close the bag and hang it in a sunny window. So for anyone who's interested in that, could be a fun thing to do in the month of May. And now for your love cards, the first one here, trust. I love that. Transformation. Ooh, love that. Love it. Transformation occurs through acceptance. Once you accept the current situation, it will automatically transform. Yes, I love that. So much of this month talks about transformation, talks about, I think trusting yourself, listening to, I mean, there's so much I feel like intuition and listening to your gut, listening to really listening to yourself. Let's be honest. Like, that's, I feel like, such a big thing for you in the month of May. Cat is loving this box. I don't know if you can hear it, but your next love card, you have the Whisperings of Love, relationship patterns. It takes strength to recognize the need for change. I'm going to read on this one from the book just because so much of this month has been on the heart and on potential like love or just self-love even. Ooh, I just finished, this message came through. I just finished the book for the series, the Plated Prisoner series, the Guild. Anyways, main character plays a harp and she's forced to play it for someone else's entertainment, and it doesn't bring her happiness. So I think that just came to my head. So maybe there are some patterns that you have that are there to please others that don't bring you happiness. Let's see. Okay. So this deck says it takes strength to recognize the need for change, considering the patterns that drive you to attract certain people into your life. You may find the next person you meet has similar qualities to your last partner. This is what you are energetically attracting. Once you learn the lesson, love that with your May message of taking time to learn, like understand, find a lesson in something. It says, where was I? Sorry. Once you learn the lesson, you will be able to attract healthier outcomes. It may be helpful to share the disappointment or pain from the past. I love that with your Two of Cups too, of making sure you're sharing things. Whether from your current relationship or another period in your life. Be honest with yourself and address situations as they happen. Acknowledge that you can no longer stifle your feelings, know your strengths and your triggers. See your past relationships as opportunities to grow and figure out what makes you happy. You have a better chance at a lasting relationship when you have self-awareness. Avoid idealizing past relationships as they can hold influence over future outcomes. Love will not magically make you feel worthy or happy unless you have achieved those values for yourself. Absolutely love that for your month. I think it's a really nice love message. I think that's nice just for anyone to hear at any time, but let's go ahead and put that there for now. And lastly, we have these fun little messages just from my Garden Secrets or Whispering Gardens. Bloom and attract more than butterflies. I love it. We were talking about butterflies earlier. But I like that message of overall just work on yourself, right? To become this better version of yourself for you so that everything that you do bring in, just put it here. We'll do this. Beautiful. Is for yourself, is what I was going to finish that sentence with. Overall, I think May is going to be a really nice month for you. There is some work I think that you need to do, but overall, it seems like a really nice calming energy and something that's needed. So we'll go ahead, we'll pull some charms, see if we can get any additional meanings on things, more details, but hopefully you enjoyed your cards for the month. All right, so let's get some charms for group 2 for May of 2023. All right, let's go ahead and flip those over. Oh my goodness. See, right off the bat, you have F. So potentially someone's name with an F, starting with an F. Project. Oh, look at this. You have a butterfly. So many butterflies. Oh my goodness, it's not going to want to be picked up. I'll just zoom in on everything at the end. All right, let me just flip these all over really fast. All right, so they're all flipped over. All right, so you have the castle here. So this can symbolize feeling like that personal power, but also to potentially escaping reality or wanting to kind of having, I want to say, like dreaming of something better. You do have the infinity symbol here as well. So I just think of this as, endless possibilities in May. There. You have the sparrow here. And for me, this term's all about like knowing your self-worth, finding that simplicity in things, and also working hard. So you have a bunch of animals. So you have the squid here. The squid just asks you to kind of like break free from any self-doubt, any guilt, hatred, any regret that you've been having. Let's talk about change as well. Let's see, you also have the zebra here. Zebra all about duality. I think it's a really nice charm for empowerment as well. And then your last animal here, it's a pig, but it also has a heart and it has little wings on it. And for me, this charm just kind of is that saying of like, oh yeah, when pigs fly. And so for me, I think that potentially in May, there could be some things that are coming up that might seem impossible to you, or even potentially like overcoming a task something that felt impossible, but no longer does, right? You have the teacup. And this just represents really creating better habits for yourself, doing things for yourself that bring you happiness, that help just improve your mental state, your health, your well being overall. I really love this charm for protection. So, a really nice month. I think even just protecting yourself, setting boundaries, doing things for yourself that help protect against maybe, people out there who aren't looking out for your best, some bad energies out there. And with the eye, for me, this is getting a vibe of seeing things clearer, right? I think this month talked a lot about having a better understanding, getting a deeper meaning on things. So I think you'll be seeing things clearer in May. And with this too, I mean, you do have the number 5 on here, so that could hold some significance potentially for this month. It's also the 5th month. But the bag charm really just represents taking only what you need with you. You can only have so much space in a purse, right? So you can't put everything in there. So for this month, I think a really nice thing is just making sure that you're really only taking what you need, leaving things behind that you don't, no longer serves you or that you don't really want to carry with you. You don't need those burdens on you anymore, potentially releasing some of that. You have my weird jack-o'-lantern, which means just putting on a face. So potentially maybe you've been feeling, or in May you'll have potential situations where you kind of need to put on a face to get through a situation, or you've been feeling like you've been putting on this facade potentially. But he is happy. So even if it's maybe just forcing yourself to smile and be like, all right, I got this, I can do this, this is going to be better, and then the more you smile, the more you tell yourself that, the better things happen, right? The more it becomes believable and the more it brings about that energy of like, oh yeah, okay, this is actually bringing forth that positive energy that I want. And then lastly, you just have this butterfly that's along with postage. It looks like a letter. So this could talk about potentially you're receiving mail from someone from the past, message from someone from the past. Doesn't have to be a bad thing. Don't freak out if there's someone out there that you're like, I don't want this person contacting me ever. Could, be something totally harmless. And then I also think too with this, it just reminds me of like a preserved butterfly. So it could be too that in this month you find something that you're kind of wanting to protect, wanting to keep with you, wanting to keep safe, keep protected from the elements, right, from others. I'll just zoom in a little bit here so you can get a better look on all your charms for May. That should be a really nice month. Let me know if you pick up anything specific, if any of these resonated differently with you, you saw any other messages come through that were meant for you from these charms or from your cards. Hope you have a wonderful May, though. And until next time. If you picked Group 3 or the Ethereal Visions Tarot deck, then this reading is yours. See what May is bringing for you. So you have the Emperor, Justice. Ooh, the Artist. This card is specific just to this deck. King of Pentacles and the Star. Wow, lots of big energy this month. Okay, so I definitely think there's some big things happening, some big changes. I see too creating boundaries this month, approaching things a little bit more rationally, potentially. Having things working out kind of as they were meant to this month, having things kind of be like the consequences to actions from months past, learning lessons from those. And the Artist, since this is just specific to this deck, this card talks about opening up to knowledge, to things around you that it's available for you if you set aside those distractions and listen. Then you can bring forth all of this new creativity, all these ideas. I like that too with the Star as well. Kind of just making sure you're embracing these new ideas that are coming to you this month. Finding that inner calm and peace, I feel like, for this month. It's funny, I'm getting, if you were kind of pulled between groups 2 and 3, maybe listen to group 2 as well and see if there are any messages in there for you too. But I definitely think there's a lot of like power this month, some abundance, definitely some success from things that you've been doing. But I definitely think for some of you, this month is going to be a really nice one for setting some boundaries. Potentially too, I think, I say like bringing stability or, that bringing order, emperor energy of things, but kind of getting like after the storm, right? So again, this is kind of why I'm like with group 2, they had similar energy, but similar month, I would say, but different energy, if that makes sense. Because I definitely think that there was something that happened maybe last month or just in the past that maybe gets brought back up again. And you're having to kind of reset boundaries, develop boundaries for the first time, lay out things, kind of restructure things so that it's a little bit calmer, that you're able to kind of move forward in a less chaotic fashion than potentially you were before. And I think too, like setting goals this month is going to be really, really important to you, kind of setting your priorities or figuring out what your priorities are. Maybe you've had some big changes that have happened and you're needing to reprioritize some things in your life, strategize some plans. If you have things coming up that you're kind of wondering, all right, this feels a little chaotic, I'm needing to rein it in. I think May is a great month for you for that. But I think listening to others and to yourself, really to yourself, I feel like this month is going to be really important. But I do think that you are kind of having a better month than potentially, previous months or weeks or whatever it may be, or even just potentially having a success happen that you've been waiting on or working towards. I think though, yeah, really whatever you're receiving, the success and abundance that you're coming into in May is going to be from things that you've done in the past. Whether that's, been work, things that maybe you haven't even realized that you've been doing or haven't given yourself credit for. Could also have been, potentially things were a little rough before for someone. And it's bringing forth this change, these new ideas. It's really what I'm getting to is kind of having this reprioritizing, kind of this shift and focus of your mindset of wanting to figure something out and shape it in a different way, if that makes sense. And it's going to bring about kind of this like more structured, this more calm month that really lays open room for more creativity and like new ideas to come forth. So I think that you're really going to be taking charge of something in May. And I think when you do that, you're going to find that you're able to change things, adjust things, figure things out, plan for things. I'm kind of getting this, like, I'm trying to think of, could potentially, let's just say, for an example, rethinking how you want to go about your day. And so maybe you start with, like, you buy a planner and you kind of chunk out times. You're like, all right, in the morning, I'm going to spend this much time on myself, this much time on, you know, applying for a new job, and then, work, and then lunch. And then you kind of like blocking things out, right? In that sense. Then, like trying to think of things that are going to be beneficial. So, like exercising. There's this fly that is buzzing around here that I let in when I let my dogs out. So we'll see if he keeps flying over here, driving me crazy. But yeah, I really think that then through that structure kind of reorganization, we'll say, it's really going to bring forth room for you to explore new things. You're going to find, like, oh my gosh, now that I've been doing X, Y, and Z this way, or, I established this in my life, it is bringing forth all these new ideas, right? All these things that I haven't really been able to see before, I haven't had time to do. And it could even be, too, for some of you, just like taking time out of your day for yourself so that you have this time for, like, your creative time, your free time, something that's really beneficial just to you, to your peace. But yeah, I think that I'm excited to get your Oracle cards too to see what else they have to add to it. But I really see it overall just like setting boundaries, kind of bringing order to something, and really opening up room for new ideas, new things in your life. And I'm going to go ahead. I've been pulling these Oracle cards off screen and just flipping them over together with the other groups. Let me know if you like that or if you like the shuffling on screen. I know it adds more time to the videos, but you know what you prefer. We'll go ahead. We'll pull some Oracle cards off screen, and I'm going to get this fly out of the room and back outside where it belongs. All right, so I have some Oracle cards here for you. We'll start off with my newest deck that I just got. This is Solitary Witch. Beautiful, beautiful deck. Your card for May is the Company of Trees. I love this even just for going back out, whether that is in nature or finding your place of tranquility. Because this card does talk about finding that like deep and true peace, kind of that sense of belonging. And so I think for me, it's a really nice month for you to take that time, right? Establish what that safe place is, what that sense of peacefulness and tranquility is for you, and make it a priority in your month. And then for your Threads of Fate, which is an absolutely beautiful deck as well. I love all my decks, actually. I say that about everything. You have Ancestors. Okay. I kind of like that too with your tree connection. But yeah, I definitely think that this card is a nice one for you. Could talk about too potentially in like May, having that connection with your ancestors. So whether that is potentially like family members that are here, those have passed on, if you have a form of connecting with them. This can also talk about suggesting like removing any past trauma from your life, from your ancestry line, kind of that blocks that you have within yourself, or even within like traits of your family, taking some time to like remove that. But I love that with your message of trees. I'm also getting just like a really nice like building strong foundations in May. Kind of taking time to establish, right? Like really deep roots, things that keep you grounded. Also, too, I think setting boundaries for some of you with family could be happening in May. For Moonology, you have luck is on your side. New moon in Sagittarius. I like that. This is a really nice time to take action on things. Can talk about like a start of like a restart of a fun period after feeling low, which I think is really nice. I think that as you plan out May, I think that there is this really nice opportunity for you to establish some things that bring you happiness, right? Some things that give you that calm, that peace, that spark, that creativity within you. So making sure that even if this does come after a time, potentially for some of you that might have been a little rough or challenging or exhausting or, just busy, that there is this time for you to kind of restart everything up, have some fun, right? And this card can also talk about kind of needing to laugh more. Potentially, you're going into for some of you, like a teaching mode or a studying mode. And then lastly, this card can also talk about just kind of having a week of gratitude. Moving on for your Green Witch stimulation, you have the chili. I like that, just kind of having some spice still there, right? Like while you might be having a little bit more of like a structured and calm month, I think along with your new moon in Sagittarius, I think it's a nice reminder to keep that stimulation there. Keep things that are bringing you happiness in your life, keep things that are going to be moving you in a positive forward movement. And then I always love reading the little spells that come with these. Yeah, fresh ideas and stimulations are presented. And there are moments that can see you and take your ideas. Oops, and your ideas take center stage. Okay. So for your stimulation spell, it says, make a life passion finder and protective witch's ladder. So it says, write down all of the facets that make up your life passion on small pieces of paper. This will include goals, plans, steps, people, ideas, or anything else you can think of. Using natural black string through a wide-eyed needle, sew a string of chilies with one of these notes between each chili and hang somewhere that catches the sun. So for anyone who's interested in that, always a fun thing. And then lastly, we'll get some love messages. So your first card, playfulness. Laughter is the best therapy. Were we not just talking about this? Love it. Laughter is the best therapy. Have some fun together and remember, love is the greatest healer. So this is going to talk about you and another, someone you're in a relationship with, or if you're not and you're not looking for that, definitely could talk about this just between yourself or potentially with like friends, family members, whatever it may be, someone in your life that holds meaning. Again, purely could just be talking to yourself, but this is a love meaning, so we'll take it to be a partner, maybe someone you meet in May. Keep things light. Make sure that there's laughter involved. You might be coming out of a tough situation, but make sure you're still kind of in that, right? Like I'm getting like this like spicy. You want to stay spicy, right? Stay playful, keep things happy. Yeah, love is the greatest healer. So if some of you are going through some type of healing in May, make sure that it's not all, I want to say like, we'll just say make it playful. And then for your whispers of love, love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. I love that. I do want to read, I actually read for the last group on their card, and I think it had some really nice messages in there. So just in case anyone needs to hear some of these messages, or if there's one for you in there, this card says, no matter what is going on, love can endure all things. Take positive steps to help create the change that is necessary to get you through this. I love that it says, like, take positive steps to help create change. It says, release your fear and recognize that this love will last. Take a step back so you are better able to remember the truth. Love lasts. When differences arise, it is important to accept the person you are with has their own perspective. Learn to compromise. Avoid taking a hard stand when it is not necessary. Be aware of what you want in your relationships so things can return to a state of harmony. There are many things beyond your control, but you can control how you feel. At times, it is easier to walk away from a relationship, especially if it feels tedious or demanding. Look at what you have done. Look at what you have done when faced with challenges in your relationship. Do you give in to get through the conflict, or do you take a stand? Look at your past reactions and be willing to address any behaviors or aspects of yourself that are no benefit to you. I like that with your justice card as well. We're gonna put this one just in the middle for now, because we just have one card left, and this is just these little fun secrets of the garden, whispers of the garden. Oh my gosh, y'all, you have play. You have play twice. So I'm going to hold these up because obviously this is a very important message for someone out there. Play. Among the grass and wild violets lie undisturbed little secrets to uncover. Okay, so your message for May, play. Which is really nice too, I feel like, along this whole like Emperor, Justice, King of Pentacle vibes of like structure and order. Yeah, your month, oh, it's a very interesting month. Let me know if you picked up any other meanings from these cards. We'll get some charms real quick for you to get some more details. Really interesting though. Okay, let's get some charms, yeah? All right, let's get some charms for group 3 for month of May. May of 2023. Group 3. All right, let's go ahead and flip these all over. Second group to get the butterfly and double dolphins, but in a different way. Anchor, shark, you have strength here. Oh, I like that you have the wheel and the anchor. Ooh, also the second group to get the triple moon. Acorn, I think, bringing about abundance. Whoops. Abundance, also preparing for the future, I get with that. Oops. Ooh, you have the yellow and the green mushrooms. Nice. I think just make sure, along with like your solitary witch card, get out in nature. Do things that make you happy, whether that is being in nature or not, but even just stepping outside, right? So if you're someone who maybe is inside a lot, try to step outside, even if it's 5-10 minutes a day. Get some sunlight. Really does wonders. Even if there's no sun, just being outside, getting some air. All right, so then you also have, I love this. I love that with your love endures card, right? Of just having like an infinite amount of love. So whether that's finding that in yourself, discovering that in a relationship. You also have this shark here. It really just makes me think of like a really, oh gosh, I'm gonna be able to pick it up, powerful month, constantly being on the move. We're just gonna leave it down. Constantly being on the move. You also have this lady getting ready. So for me, this charm really just means making time for yourself. Do things that make you happy, whether that is potentially, putting on a face mask at night and forgetting. I do that all the time where I'm like, I forgot how much I love doing this. Such a simple thing. Love that you have the double dolphins. So I think, again, for me, dolphins represent just like a playfulness. Being with someone else too, having a double dolphin, I think being in other like company of others, even potentially when you might not feel like it, I think having someone around potentially in May is going to be really nice for you. I love that you have 2 birds on a perch. So for me, this represents having a safe place to come back to, whether that is your home or, a place out and about, somewhere where you feel safe, you feel, again, going back to your solitary witch card, of having that peacefulness, that tranquility, that wholeness that you can return to. But you're not in a cage. You're able to fly off, explore whenever you want, but know that you have somewhere to come home to. You also have the strength card here. I like that with your other cards, of knowing that you're strong enough to do this. That in May you're going to have the strength to make these things happen, right? You're going to have that determination, that power, right? Going back to that shark, have that shark energy this month. But again, you have dolphins. Keep it playful. You're a strong dolphin. You're a powerful dolphin, right? But yeah, butterfly, I think some transformations happening. Again, potentially within yourself, in your life, emotionally, mentally, career-wise, right? You have that King of Pentacles. We also have this charm here. If anyone's familiar with Zelda, this charm just reminds me of the Triforce. I think is really just a nice, another like powerful symbol. But this does also kind of make me think, again, it kind of talks about like that power, wisdom, courage, like all sides. So I think just having like a really nice harmony. I like that too, actually, with your other cards of having that harmony between that power of the shark, right? But that playfulness of the dolphin, kind of finding that balance this month in May. Sunglasses just make me think. I mean, this could be either too May, right? Sun's coming out for a lot of people in a lot of places. Could be time to go out, pop on those new sunglasses you have, go out in the world, do something fun. I get kind of just like that laid back attitude, right? You have the triple moon here. So you could be entering a new stage in your life. Again, yeah, if you feel drawn to group two, or if you have time and you want to listen to group two's message as well, there could be some meanings there for you too, some similarities between the two groups, I would say. And then lastly, you have the key. So finding answers. Oh, you also have, okay, we're not lastly. So I think you're finding answers this month too. Unlocking a door, right? Unlocking a problem, figuring something out. And then you have the ink, or the, oh, that's the ink. Wow. With the wheel, I almost think of this as taking control of the direction that you're heading in, right? Like grabbing onto the wheel, steering, guiding yourself on the path that you want to go on. And then lastly, you have the anchor here. I think this is nice of just making sure you stay grounded when you need to take a break, when you need to, figure out new directions, right? Drop your anchor. Take some time, pause before you lift it back up and just, go all willy nilly. I think it is time, important that you do take those moments to take a pause when you need to so that you can kind of develop those plans again, restructure, reorganize, lift the anchor up, go back on your way, right? Zoom in a little bit on these. Let me know if you saw any other messages here that you feel like we're calling to you. Really interesting month of May for you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful month. And until next time.